Hey guys, it's Chase, and we're here to episode 2.4 of the Down to Movies podcast. Everyone say hi.
Hi.
I know, I wish we will work on getting video of one of our podcasts, because Starla's dancing, doing crazy things, and I know everyone on the YouTube world wants to see that, so she'll be getting a million hits, like, look at this girl dancing, what an artard. I'm just kidding.
Not because the sensuality of
the sensuality of your moves.
It's poetry.
That's pretty great. Yeah, poetry in motion. But man, we get
We'll
off
start
track.
a new YouTube channel just for you called Poetry in Motion.
Poetry in
It's
Motion.
just Starla dancing.
It's just me dancing to various
And we'll
songs in my
Photoshop your
pajamas.
face and Dancing Groot's body as like the main picture. There you go. I don't know where this podcast is going now, but basically on this week we'll be discussing, because we already did a video talking about our favorite. Calm down, everyone. We already did because it is technically a video file, so screw you guys. But we basically did one that was our favorite Disney animated and live action movie, and so this one will be our favorite animated and live action movie that is not Disney. So
for kids,
for kiddos,
Yes.
for all you youngins out there that watch my videos and listen to my channel and all that junk. So all right, so we'll do it.
And criteria is PG or less.
PG or less. So all you PG-13 fans out there,
Yeah.
almost nudity out there.
No dice.
Yeah, no dice. No top of the boob, no nip. I know that.
Unless you happen to be breastfeeding.
Well,
or guy.
or guy. Yeah, or a guy. I'll start us off here. So my animated choice is the Iron Giant.
Woohoo!
And I know it's one of the sleeper hits because it came out and didn't really do a whole lot. And once DVD and everything, or like VHS and all that crap, it got more popular. More people saw it finally, and it became a mega hit based off of the sales of the VHS and all that. But it is about this little boy who lives with his mother, and it's set in the 50s. And basically, he's into comics, he's in science fiction, stuff like that. And then this gigantic robot lands in his hometown and starts just messing things up and gets electrocuted and forgets why he's there. He forgets what his whole mission was, which was kind of to destroy the planet. And he becomes friends with this little boy. And basically it's him trying to convince this gigantic robot that he was meant for more than what he was there for, But obviously people aren't going to take kindly to a gigantic robot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Nobody's going to want to see that. So they start freaking out, and it's really, really good. The music in it's great. The voice acting is really good. You almost forget you're watching an anime movie because of the voice acting is so good in it.
Yeah.
You have, let me see here. I have my little page
Cheat
up here.
sheet.
My cheat sheet. Jennifer Aniston plays the voice of the mom. Harry Connick Jr. plays the voice of one of the main guy in it. Vin Diesel,
Of course.
Yeah.
does the Iron Giant.
Your Marvel connection for
That's
this week.
right. See, that's how you do it. For Groot, of course. So, and Starla was talking about how the guy who basically helped him with the sound of the Iron Giant helped him with the sound of Groot. So they kind of get to work together again.
Yeah.
And overall, it's a very good movie. It got, let me see here, 21 awards, and it was nominated for 16 nominations and one for other things. But it got an 8 out of 10. Which is higher than
That's
impressive for an animated movie, and it's higher than my live action movie is going to be, but it's surprising because my pick that I'll tell later is so good,
It's a good deal.
And collectively, I mean, people always talk about how much they like this movie, and I feel bad because I haven't seen it.
It's great.
But I haven't ever heard anybody saying eh.
Yeah, Iron Giant.
It's a really good movie.
It's a really good movie, and then like Alamo, y'all's church.
Yes.
Has
Yes.
a gigantic Iron Giant head and hand
I know.
bursting
See,
through the wall. So
they
clearly
love it.
they
And they've shown it before.
Yeah,
and we
the
just
Iron
didn't get to
Giant
go
is
see
such a
it,
good
so,
movie. It's one of the best movies and kid movies I've ever seen, and it gave Disney a run for their money. And it sucks because it wasn't so popular when it first happened, when it came out, but it has such a following now that it doesn't really matter. I think they announced an Iron Giant 2. So I'll be curious about how that works because everybody's so much older now. Because it came out in '99, but that was still 16 years ago. So everyone's much older now. Like Jennifer Aniston and Harry Connick Jr. sound exactly the same, but the little boy clearly isn't going to sound like a little boy. And Vin Diesel. So those three will be good, but it'll be the main little boy that's kind of be on
Will they have him as an adult, or will they, cast a new little boy to do the voice?
That's the front here, but we'll see how that goes. But it's a really good movie, and I think if you haven't seen it, do check it out, and I recommend it for you two guys, because I know y'all haven't seen it, so do check that out. So, Iron Giant, animated pick. Caitlin, you're up.
Yay.
Okay. So my favorite animated pick, it's a newer one, was Big Hero 6. It came out last year.
What was that?
No, that was one of my favorite animated movies just ever. It was really good. It had a lot of drama in it for a kids movie. It was real, like it had some really sad parts. It just like brought you in. Made me want to cry on some parts. But no, basically it's, most people probably know, but it's about this kid who's trying to build these robots and do robot fights and earn money for it, and his brother is kind of trying to teach him how to get in trouble for it and shows him a robot he's been working on at school that is Baymax. That's his health companion.
Yeah, his
personal health companion. And
Sweet.
I know.
the kid just loves Baymax, and he thinks he's pretty cool, and he's gonna well, at first he doesn't think he's that cool. He's like oh, okay, all right, but he wants to go to school there, so he's trying to get in, and he tries his little microbots and presents them at, what is that thing they're at, like
It's like a convention.
Yeah,
It's
it's,
a school
it's like
convention.
a science.
like a science convention, and
for nerd school.
sad things happen. I don't want to spoil it for people who don't know, but
Yeah.
things don't all happen for the best, but it works out good because he ends up being friends with Baymax later, and they go on a mission with his brother Tadashi's friends to save the
San Francisco.
center, I guess, yeah. However, I don't know what it's
Francisco.
called. Yeah, something weird like that.
That's what
San
it is.
Francisco.
Yeah.
That's very interesting.
San Francisco and Tokyo. For all you people who don't know out there.
But yeah, they all kind of team together to try and save the town because there's bad things happening. I don't want to say too much.
Yeah.
Because I figure most people have seen it,
Yeah.
but this one got a 7.9 out of 10, which
Dang,
I
that's good though. Hey, it's very
that's
close.
awesome. But I'm telling you, it was shocked to know that Iron Giant. I love Iron Giant, but I was shocked that it got
Yeah,
higher.
'cause
than
that was a
Big
different
Hero
time.
6.
Okay.
Because
Hey.
Big Hero 6
No.
is fantastic.
It is.
No, I would.
But that just shows you how good Iron Giant is. though.
Iron Giant does deserve that, but I think the Big Hero 6 should have gotten maybe a little more. Even
Yeah.
though that's a lot, felt like they did really good.
Yeah. It's,
But
They're harder
just-
on animated and like horror movies, and they're a little bit tougher on
Yeah.
those.
And
Yeah.
you're right. I mean, it takes you through everything. You're sad. You're laughing.
Yeah.
You're
it's-
worried for these characters.
Yes, it's a really sweet movie, and it makes you just love Baymax and his
Yeah.
character, and it makes you want to cry several times
Yeah.
in the movie. It's
Yeah.
just one of those
I
that's
tell you,
very,
like-
very emotional, and most kids' movies don't have that much drama in
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
It was a little heavy. Like,
Yeah.
my aunt took my cousins to see it, and she thought that it was a little bit strong for them because they're
Yeah.
little, and she was like, I mean, they loved it, but she was just worried that they'd be upset just because some of the things in it.
But I will say though, I don't care how sad it was because it's like for little kids' sake. Because look at all the ones that have Little Mermaid,
Oh yeah, Bambi.
Bambi,
Yeah.
Dumbo was
But
twisted as
usually,
hell.
okay,
Lion
but-
King. There was deaths
Bambi's
and all.
upsetting, but most of the time in Disney movies, the parents already bit it. You know what I mean?
You don't
Or
get
they-
to know the parents.
they-
Like, you know,
Lion King.
But I mean, the
That's
thing
true.
in Baymax is the sad things that happen. You already feel attached to
No,
those
no, and
involved in the sad
I know,
things.
but
It's
I'm
not
just saying.
just
No, but I'm
those,
saying like.
those
way.
that
I just
die
think-
are mostly animals.
No,
And
I
this-
know, but I'm saying,
Yeah.
but still, I'm saying
It's a
like.
little different.
I think it's good for a little kid to see something like that in an animated movie to show you like because
Yeah.
it makes it better. You know, I'm not saying
Yeah.
somebody has to die in every animated movie we watch. And I know
Yeah.
that's Disney, and this one's DreamWorks. But I mean, like even How to Train Your Dragon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That,
Yeah.
I mean, that was.
But
Very
this
sad.
was
Yeah, that
it
was
was
sad. It
unique
had sad
in that
stuff in
it
it.
was modern day. It wasn't like
Yeah.
during Dragon times or not that ever happened. But
yeah,
you know what I mean.
Dragon Time.
But it was modern day, and Hero's a good little role model for kids, I think.
Yeah.
Because he's like a real kid. He has that, kind
like a
of
teenager.
defiance. He's kind of, I don't want to do what you do. It's a little
It's just
lame.
nerdy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's, he's smart and
he just needs some
he's
direction.
got a good heart. He just needed to have the right kind of little push into what
Yeah,
he needed
to
to
get
do.
him what he needed to do.
He's
No,
gotta
and,
find a new angle.
Yeah.
and that's a good. It's a
Yeah.
good lesson for youngins out there.
And the fact that they addressed through Baymax mental health.
yeah.
Because
Yeah.
he became his mental health companion more
Yeah.
than just health.
Yeah, he's
Where
trying
he
to. Yeah.
helped him get through
Physically, he was
his
fine.
troubling
but,
times.
yeah.
Yeah.
He needed a grief counselor.
Yeah, and
Need
that's
a
something
friend,
that they
yeah.
don't address. In Disney movies, they've killed off your parents, and now
Yeah,
you need
Disney-
to just get on with it, Cinderella. Clean
Disney's
the
done
room.
everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, Disney has
Yeah.
done everything, which is why it's nice to get away from Disney and see what they got to offer.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
No, obviously, Big Hero 6,
Loved
we're all fans
Yeah,
of.
we're huge
We're
fans.
recording this episode at Starla Michael's house, and she has a giant Baymax and Hero painted on her wall that she drew. And we all have the Funkos.
He's with us
and-
as we
Yeah,
speak.
he's with us as we speak. Yeah, I know.
He's watching over us.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, obviously, we're fans of that movie,
Yeah,
so
it's-
well-deserved, I
yeah.
think. And it won
Excellent
Best
choice.
Animated Feature, you know.
Yeah.
This
It
year.
deserved it. It deserved
Yeah,
it.
it needed
Yeah,
it.
It didn't
it's a
win
beautiful film,
because, sometimes an animated feature will win because it's the best out of the ones that came out. But
Yeah.
it really could have gone up. It could have stood against the live action movies. It was a really great
It was a
movie.
really great movie. So, good choice. Look at you. I'm
Yeah,
impressed
that's
with you.
excellent choice. Excellent.
No, no. Yeah. All right, so Starlet, you're up. Nope. Nope. Oh, we're going in
Big
new order. We're
Michael,
going in
yeah.
new order.
We're
Here you go.
shaking it up. We're getting
Yeah,
wild
we're
and crazy.
shaking things up. All right, Michael,
All right.
let's do it.
All right, my pick for the best animated film was The Secret of NIMH,
Hey.
which
Yeah, that's
came
a good
out
movie, man. But
way
Yeah.
back in '82.
Oh,
Nice.
yeah, that's a
Um,
time?
No, they
Tell
had
us, Grandpa.
Tell
They
us about
had
this
movies back then.
1980
Moving pictures.
right.
Talkies.
Talkies.
Yeah, there you go.
But it's about a mouse who lost her husband, and she has a sick son, so she goes to see these rats to help find a cure. And she also needs her help moving her home because the farmer is going to come by with his tractor and destroy her home. So the the rats feel obligated to help her because her husband helped them escape NIMH, which is the National Institute of Mental Health. So they did some experiments on them, and they became really, really smart. So they've kind of formed their own society in this rose bush.
Yeah.
And inside the rats group, there's this group that's behind the main leader, and then there's another group that wants to kind of overthrow him. So there's some drama in there, but it's pretty dark for an
It is.
animated movie.
Secret of NIMH is such a depressing
Yeah,
movie.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen that one. Because I've
It's
seen,
really
you say he's
great.
a mouse. I've seen Fightful.
Same
Fightful
guy.
ones,
Yeah.
Yeah, the
it's
same
the
guy
same type
made it.
of
Dom-
That's what I
animation.
thought,
Bluth.
so I was confused about whether I've actually seen that one. I may have, but
Yeah.
I get them mixed up.
If you've ever seen those Dragon Slayers games at back when we had arcade,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
where it was
what?
like
Arcade,
it was
yeah.
one of those. It was one of those arcades where it was on a laser disc, and the screen would flash, and you moved the joystick or hit the sword button when it flashed,
Oh my gosh.
and you watched a
Oh,
cartoon. The
no,
whole
I remember
time.
that because you
Yeah,
bought the
I did.
computer game.
I did,
and
loved
you were
it.
so pissed because you would choose one thing and
And
it would
do
still
something
do
else.
the opposite. And
Oh,
you're
I
like, son
remember
of a,
you
yeah,
yelling
you're like,
about
son of a
that.
bitch.
Yeah.
Because you would
Hated
hit the
that.
one and it wouldn't do what
It
you
wouldn't
wanted
do
it to.
anything.
And you're like,
I
you know what,
know.
fuck it. I don't
I was
want to work.
furious. I was
He was
furious.
so mad. I was just
But-
sitting there because he's wanting to get it to work
I
so he
know.
could show me.
Spent
and
all
it
that
just-
money.
Yeah.
Damn thing didn't work.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's our other.
If
Okay.
you hear-
If you hear a cat meow, that's blame Starla Michael.
That's Starla.
that's the secret of Noom.
That's their cat Numi. She's hanging around with us. So
Right.
If you hear, that's
She
her.
wants to
Yeah.
join in.
She
She's
doesn't say anything
We
all
mentioned-
day, but
Yeah,
right
no,
now.
she's
No.
like, I need my voice to be heard.
No, we mentioned mice and rats. So
Yeah,
she-
she's
Yeah,
like,
okay.
yeah,
Chime
she's
in.
like, this is
You've
what we do.
encouraged her. You've
Yeah, I
encouraged her.
I did. She thinks she's
We're the least professional podcast out there, and I can guarantee that.
she thinks she's the
That's
cat.
part of our
Secret of
charm.
NIMH.
She saw the microphone. She's like, "Oh, are we live now?"
We're live in 3, 2.
She's cleared her throat.
Oh man, but no, Secret of NIMH is depressing. I've seen one time.
That's encouraging.
No, it's a good animated movie,
Yeah.
and it has great story,
It
great
is-
voice acting.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
it's just sad. Like we're talking about Big Hero 6 being kind of sad to watch. This one is kind of.
It's very, very
because
sad.
like it's just you feel so bad for this little
Yeah.
mouse.
Yeah.
It's
The husband dies.
Rare.
They're gonna get run over. She
Yeah.
needs help moving. She needs help from these rats or assholes.
They're-
and,
yeah,
I
they're
mean,
jerks
it's just
to her.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
just
One
like,
of them has got a little thing for her, but that's
the main one is kind of a turd.
But it's interesting to kind of put some of the real the real life struggles of like a
Yeah.
single mother
In a mouse.
into this mouse
Yeah, it's a
story
kid.
where she's
Yeah, so that's like
in
6
danger of
things.
losing her home.
Yeah.
She's lost her
Yeah.
husband. Her child's sick. I mean, these are real life things
Yeah.
going on, and this
with a
little
mouse.
mouse
Heavy
is
stuff.
going through it.
It's so sad.
And it's scary, if you're a little kid and you see that owl.
Yeah.
And, yeah, it's,
Yeah.
and the
Oh my
cat, it's pretty terrifying.
Yeah, it's great, but it is a darker kind of
Darker
animated.
Yeah, I
tone.
think
It's
that's
kind of
why
along the lines
he,
of.
he wanted to do it at Disney, but they thought it was too dark. So I'm not
And
sure
that's
that's
saying
And that's saying
When
if Disney says you're too dark,
Yeah.
Oh, that was the main reason for him leaving, but it was one of them.
It's
Yeah, it's
it's
pretty
along
bad.
the lines of like Last Unicorn, that type of.
Yeah.
yeah, because
It's
Last
more
Unicorn's a good
drama
movie, but it's more
in a
drama than
cartoon.
cartoon.
Yeah.
It's just it's not as bad, but like how Family Guy's a cartoon,
Yeah.
but it's an adult cartoon.
Yeah.
This
Right.
one's this
Just
one's
because
a
it's
cartoon.
animated doesn't mean it's for kids.
But yeah, and a lot of people do that because they couldn't have the money to do a live action.
Yeah.
So they're like,
Yeah.
okay, well let's get the story we want to get across for this animated because it's cheaper to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
But if they're good enough, it won't matter, and that's a good example for the 3 of ours and yours coming up. But it's
Yeah.
like it doesn't matter. It's so good it didn't need to be live action. So
Yep.
awesome, good choice. All right, Starla,
All right.
drop the mic.
I am gonna drop the mic on this one. 1973's classic,
Boot
Charlotte's
Scoot? Oh, yeah.
Charlotte's Web.
Yeah, yay!
It's so fantastic, and I know they've done a live action one and they've done a sequel that we will never speak of
Charlotte's Web 2 is the abomination.
because it's no,
That would
it
be a
doesn't
good
work.
unnecessary sequels.
But yeah, but it was an E.B. White novel back in the 50s, and then 21 years later they made it a movie, which he was not fond of at all because of all the singing, which is kind of status
my
quo
book didn't have
for-
singing. Well, because it's
Yeah.
a book, dude.
It's a book. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean we have Henry Gibson did the voice of Wilbur,
Yeah.
Verbs.
and Debbie Reynolds did the voice of Charlotte for
Ooh,
free
ooh, that's
because she loved the book so much.
that's
So
bitch. I
you
love
know,
Debbie Reynolds. She makes
but-
me so happy.
yeah,
She's great,
fantastic.
man.
She's
She's
fantastic.
great. And she's the grandma on Halloween Town. Come on now. Well, that's something for the newer folk.
For those of you who don't know the story, it's basically this girl named Fern saves a runt pig from being killed, and she keeps him till her family can't take care of him, and then he goes to live with her uncle on his farm, and discovers that his purpose in life is to get fat enough to kill. And he's depressed because he's separated from Fern and he has no friends, and now he knows he has a death sentence, and
I know. It's just
and
like,
what'll
God.
happen, and
It's very uplifting.
Charlotte finds him, and she's a spider, and she saves his life in the limited life she has. That's her goal, and it says something about where your true friends are and where your true family is, and
Yeah.
that it can have nothing to do with
Blood.
or
Yeah.
size or species or any of that.
Yeah.
There's all these farm animals that are close to Wilbur's size that have no interest in him, and he's just there until he dies, so they don't even
Yeah,
want to
they
get
don't even want
attached.
to get attached to him.
And Charlotte, he's Wilbur's dramatic. This is traumatic
Yeah.
news for
Yeah.
him, and
That was, you get dropped off at this farm after you were just happy with your owner.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, well, you're
Yeah.
going to get fat and get eaten.
yeah, you believed you were a pet, you were a member of the family, and you're actually you're food.
Mm-hmm.
And so
So disturbing.
that's very upsetting news for a little pig to receive, and you kind of be reluctant to eat.
Yeah, I know. You're like, "Wait."
So, but I mean, I think personally this movie, first of all, okay, our mom, Chase and I's mother, she read this book to me. It was prior to So Many Kids, so she had more time
yeah,
to read.
that's when she loved you the most.
No, it was before she had a gaggle of children, so
Yeah,
she
a bushel.
she had
A
more
small
time.
litter
farm.
of sorts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For her farm. So this was something she read to me, a chapter every night. And then when they released it again in theaters, we went and saw it. She had to take me from the theater crying. I mean, but it's a special childhood memory to have heard this book, and look forward to the chapters and hope that my teachers were going to read it, because not only would I ace the test because I had heard it already.
Yeah, you're like, you knew
But,
what it was.
I loved it so much. And I
Yeah.
think it also shaped me in the future becoming a vegetarian.
Yeah.
I really think, just the outrageousness of it when you think about God, and I know, animals aren't speaking to each other in the same way that they do in Charlotte's Web, but when you're a kid, you're like, oh my gosh, how awful is it that
Yeah.
all it would take is people not to want to eat him for him to be able to just live his life.
Yeah.
And so I think that had an impact on me as I got older.
That's right.
But
I'm eating a turkey leg. While
Yeah.
you're doing- No, I'm just kidding.
yes,
No, I'm
he's
just
got
kidding. I'm
bacon
kidding.
strips.
Yeah.
But,
yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
it was
Mistake.
it was kind of criticized at the time for being too cartoony looking, which is funny because it's got to be.
Yeah, it has to.
Yeah.
Yeah, your cartoon
But-
movie looks too cartoony. What?
But I thought, the animation was really, fun and pretty, and, it didn't look like, okay, cheese-tastic animation would be Charlotte's Web 2,
Yeah.
which looks like
Charlotte's
one
Web-
of those awful,
Because Charlotte's Web,
Tom and
I
Jerry,
want to
new
see the
one.
reader, the person who wrote the Charlotte's Web book, and ask him what he thought about Charlotte's Web
I
2.
doubt he's around.
But, well, if you could.
Yeah.
Because that's awful.
Yeah.
He would
that-
respect Charlotte's Web 1 a lot
Yeah,
better.
it looked like, one of those dollar bin coloring books. I mean, the
No,
animation
you see it in the
was
dollar
really-
bin. Yeah, if you go
yeah.
like Walmart and stuff.
Awful,
Yeah.
awful. And the original one just had beautiful music.
Yeah.
I mean, I
and
can
it was,
think of the songs in that and tear up. And Charlotte is just wonderful. I mean, Debbie Reynolds did such a great job.
She did a good job.
With the songs and with conveying so much emotion. That's the thing with all these, is all the emotion that these voice actors get
Yeah.
through an animated character. I don't know how they do it.
Yeah, no, that was a time
Yeah.
where, like, they were into it more. It seems like a
Yeah.
lot of people, I mean, not everybody, but there seems like there's some actors now that do voice acting so they don't have to act as much.
Yeah.
But it's really not, I mean, you have to be able to just, now you're just using your voice to be able to act.
Yeah.
Because then, they're putting the animation there, but if you don't sound what they're showing, then you're like, oh, crap.
Yeah. And it was about the story and not, what's the coolest catchphrase we can put in there, or something that would look cute on a t-shirt, or,
Yeah.
it's,
Yeah.
it
They
was
care about
about
that.
the message and it being an actual good story. And so Charlotte's Web, fantastic. I own it. I'd watch it right now. I love it.
I own it and I will watch it right now. No, hey, that's a
Yeah.
good pick. And Charlotte just
Yeah.
breaks my heart.
And Chase does a killer Wilbur. It should be known.
I am on the spot now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He will go
Do it
around
later.
say, "What did you say?" all the time.
I know. That's
And
I know.
just
I would quote that. Charlotte. Yeah, we would quote that all the time. Oh man, it's such a good movie, but yeah, man, that's another sad one.
Yeah.
What's up with all these sad, like literally? Mine's the only like cheery one for the most part.
Cheery.
I mean, there's some sad moments in Iron Giant too, but damn,
Is
Yeah.
the end of that one not sad?
I can't say.
I thought it
I-
was sad towards
I
the
know. How
end.
say.
Well, I know how it ends. So.
Well, it's
See,
kind of
that's-
it's sad. But
I don't
not,
remember.
It's sad, but not really.
It's
Okay.
weird that you can get more attached to these animated creatures
Well, 'cause it
than
goes-
you can sometimes
Well, I was-
people in
well, I was about to
movies.
say,
You know,
okay.
you care.
A pig,
Mm-hmm.
a rat, a robot, and a robot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
those are the four. Just that's what they are. Like
Yeah.
you feel for the Iron Giant because he doesn't know why he's there and everyone's hating on him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, he's just there. He's like a big gigantic kid, and people
Yeah.
are pissed that he's there. They're trying to kill him.
Mm-hmm.
You have Baymax, who's he's just a lovable robot. He's just
Yeah.
there to do his job, and people love him like crazy. Then Secret and Nim, he's just a little rat. You feel so bad for it, and you just love it for what it is, you know. And then for Wilbur, it's just like he's a little pig, and it's
Yeah.
just him being devastated
Yeah.
Some
at
pig.
this.
Yeah, he's
some
some
radiant,
big, terrific.
humble-
Some terrific, radiant, humble pig.
Yeah. Oh wow! Look at him now, Zuckerman's favorite.
And it also says something about the gullibility of people. That they can be kind of tricked into believing that he's different than any other pig, just based on what a web says.
I
You know, and actually that's a great metaphor for now. Just based on what the web says, lots of
Yeah.
times you can be tricked into believing how great things are.
Yep.
So basically, the
So
world that we know it is Charlotte's Web,
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah.
and we
If
are.
somebody says it enough, you start to
Basically,
believe
I mean,
it.
Hey,
he
no,
was
and
just
that's
he
the
just
sad
started
truth.
being a show pig just because his name was in the web.
Yeah.
Or it
Yeah.
said, some pig.
Radiant
Yeah,
or
dragging
some
on.
pig.
He
and
starts jumping around a little.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Yeah.
all right. But if
shakes
he-
his little tail a
But
little
it had
more.
it not been for that web, he
Yeah.
would just been
Yeah.
like, all right,
'Cause it's-
what are you
yeah.
doing?
'Cause
what if he
This
got
crazy
there- yeah,
pig,
'cause what
what's
if he-
wrong with
Yeah.
him?
Because what if he got there and Charlotte was just like, well,
It's all
you
about,
know?
it's all about advertising.
And
yeah, there you go.
And the farmer's wife had it right, because the farmer walks up and says, "Oh, this is a special pig," something to that effect, and the wife says, "It seems to me it's no ordinary spider."
Yeah. Yeah, because the spider's the one writing all this stuff, and they're like,
Yeah.
the pig.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's,
But it's
That's
the
true.
power of suggestion.
but it saved his life. And then
Yeah.
we get a parade, and he's dancing around at the end,
Yeah.
so, good choice.
And I
That's
also
a-
learned the meaning of the word versatile as a kid.
Versatile, yeah.
Does versatile mean full of eggs? No. It means I can go with ease from one thing to another.
I'm versatile.
And I thought, oh, that's
Yeah, you're
brilliant.
like, brilliant.
Versatile.
Mama versatile. You're what?
So fantastic.
Yeah, there you go. Good. We're all
You know?
proud of you. We are.
Oh, thank you.
You're wel-
I need that.
yeah, thank you.
Well done.
There should be a little web that says terrific above me.
Jeez. No, that's pretty funny. Yeah, no, good choice. All right, so how are we feeling about the first round? A little depressed?
Feeling good.
Yeah, a little sad.
It's what these
Well,
it's what these animated movies
yeah,
have to
I know,
do.
the
They
animated
give you,
ones-
Here's the worst case scenario. Will they rise above it?
and then we'll build you straight up.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
They have a
yeah.
good balance of happy
Yeah.
and sad.
Yeah, and they're not all. And the thing is, I think with the way this room is, we flock to the ones that are a little bit more emotional and,
Yeah.
and heart wrenching, and you know what I mean? Because there's
Yeah.
all these different animated ones we could have picked that we all enjoy that isn't nearly as sad. Like I know
Yeah.
your original choice was like Chipmunk Adventure.
Yeah, and it's pretty.
And that
happy
that
the
one's
whole
pretty
way
happy
through.
the whole, except for like the mom part with the penguin, which is
Yeah.
the most depressing part of that movie. But it's like that's a fun one that doesn't
Mm-hmm.
isn't really like super sad or anything. So it's like we could have picked ones like that, but we all flocked to the ones that taught
Yeah.
us something for being the emotion.
Yeah.
And so that just shows you this group.
Yeah, you have to go through bad things. You come out the other side. What do you learn from it?
Yeah, exactly. What doesn't kill you makes you strong. Okay, that's enough of that.
That's a whole.
That's a whole
nother
different thing.
podcast.
Yeah, there you go. We'll have a podcast of me just singing the hits.
Just Chase sings 70s standards.
I'm paying the hood. Yeah. Yeah, I don't even know.
What did he think was being sung in the 70s?
That. Hey, you know what? I was just singing anything. All right, screw you guys. This podcast is over. All right, so yeah, now it's time for the live action portion of this podcast,
Woo-hoo!
which basically, like we said, the rule is it has to be at least PG or less. Nothing higher than that. It has to be considered more
'cause
kid friendly.
Jaws is PG, but
Yeah,
you wouldn't really
yeah,
call that
exactly.
kids.
So it's the
sick.
original Poltergeist.
Yeah, so Poltergeist,
Yeah.
Jaws. So I mean, there's an exception
Raiders
to
of
the
the Lost
rule
Ark,
there,
so.
but has to be kids can watch it, or we watch it as kids, or we know
Yeah.
it's kid friendly,
And not have
Yeah.
nightmares.
and not have nightmares. And
You
my
don't have to have any uncomfortable conversations
yeah.
after showing.
Well, you see, after that shark eats the human,
Yeah.
it needed to eat the human to live.
right.
Yeah,
It's
it's all
hungry.
nature, honey. Yeah, yeah. But my choice is also from 1982. It is. Hey, Starl's making faces. All right, it is E.T. the Extraterrestrial. Yeah.
That might be nature's perfect.
Nature's
children's movie.
Exactly.
Yes.
Because it also has that kind of terror in it when you're a kid. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's not a scary movie or anything like that, but it has that terrifying stuff that.
I was terrified of E.T.
That's what I'm
as a
saying.
kid.
Like,
Yeah.
dude, that first scene. Well, I mean, everybody knows what E.T.'s
Oh
about,
yeah, when
but
he's shining the light
yeah,
through the like
and
horn
when you
looking
first
one, yeah.
see E.T. and he's like,
Yeah.
like that scared
Yeah.
the shit out of
It
me.
made me so nervous. Like when he comes up to him and he's sleeping in the backyard, Elliot is, and he
Yeah.
brings him the
Yeah.
little hand
Yeah. You're like,
And when he comes in his bedroom for the first time and walks in there, I
Yeah.
was just so nervous the whole time. I just
Yeah.
was.
well, that's what I'm saying. E.T.
He
has
freaked
that.
me out.
Yeah.
But E.T. has that kind of terror, and with E.T. and the Iron Giant, they kind of mesh together because, like in the Iron Giant, I told y'all, the Iron Giant, one of the critics put like it's like E.T. but with a robot because it's like you have this thing that this kid is not terrified of.
Yeah.
That befriends it and tries to show everybody like it's not anything bad, like he's not scary or anything, but people are so terrified of the
Yeah.
unknown that they
Yeah.
want to just destroy it.
Yeah.
You know, and so that's kind of their mesh together. But it has Henry Thomas, Drew Barrymore as a
Yeah,
kid,
Gertie.
and Dee Wallace, which we're all fans of in here.
Yeah,
We've
Dee
seen
Wallace
her,
is
met her,
fantastic.
she's great.
She's awesome.
So you gotta love her. But no, E.T. is the staple of growing up,
Yeah.
and it's one of the first things you want to show your kid because it has great directing. Obviously, Steven Spielberg.
Yeah.
It has great music in it.
Yeah.
It has just fun, quirky comments that are for kids, and
Yeah.
it definitely can teach you a lesson,
See
growing
Thomas
up.
Howell.
So yeah, see Thomas Howell, and we saw him this weekend. Yeah,
Yeah.
so he was there.
Yeah.
I think.
And you're speaking, of course, of the original E.T., not
Yeah, not
the...
the-
No, not the director's cut from 20 years later or whatever the hell.
the CG...
CG mess.
Walkie-talkies.
Yeah, no, we're not. Yeah, the guns are still guns, and ET never
Yeah.
took a bath.
Right.
We're not talking about those. But it's kind of funny because it's like you have that connection to ET and Elliot that I think is great. Because it's like they
Yeah.
start to feel each other. Because
Yeah.
they become like the same person.
Yeah.
And like when ET's they're getting drunk. And then he's in his classroom and falls out of his chair.
Yeah.
So it has lots of things. And like when I was younger, I never was thinking like, oh, ET's drinking beer. I never
Yeah.
looked at that.
You don't put that.
Yeah, you don't put that stuff
You're a
together.
kid.
And you realize there's kind of a spoiler in E.T. when they're in the hospital, or kind of hospital.
Yeah,
sort of.
wherever the hell they are. Yeah.
And Elliot starts getting better, and E.T. seemingly dies. Because
Yeah.
it's basically a spoiler because they're connected. They feel the same thing. So if Elliot's getting
Elliot's
better,
getting better. ET is
then
going to start
E.T.'s
getting better.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But when you're a kid and you see that, it's like, oh my god,
Yeah,
it's
ET's
so
done.
devastating.
Yeah. But it's just so funny. He's like, like he starts like laughing because he's like,
Yeah.
he's alive.
And for kids, when you're watching it, you go through everything those kids
Yeah.
do.
Yeah.
And what they feel is exactly what you're feeling. He's terrified of him at first, then he loves him, then he's devastated, then he's not.
Yeah.
And what his siblings go through.
Yeah, and yeah, exactly. It's great.
And how the oldest one is more scared of E.T. than
Then
the
the
youngest
youngest one.
Because
Yeah.
that's how you are when you're little bitty.
No
you're more
fear.
accepting.
Yeah,
of
you have the no
something
fear.
different.
Exactly. And then like the whole. I think this is a true story, but because of ET, like Reese's Pieces like spiked because that was the ET
Oh
food.
yeah. You went
E.T.
around as a
food.
little boy
Yeah, just
calling it E.T.
ET food and just leaving trails for me to eat. Like I'm saying, leaving trails for me to like crawl and be like,
There would be
Yeah.
piles of little pieces. And every time we went to the store, he needed E.T. food.
Oh,
What do you want? E.T. food.
I know,
that's funny.
because I wanted to feed my own alien. All right.
But it's like,
No,
I
but-
saw it in the theater when I was 5. And it's a movie that, you loved when you were 5.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
you
I
can
was
show
about
it.
that.
You can show it to you
Yeah.
can show it to anybody, and I think you love it as an adult. You can watch it as a kid,
Yeah.
and it be a good kind of starter movie.
Yeah.
And also has that connection with Star Wars because have you all put all that together? Because like they show E.T. in the original
Yeah.
cut. Was it is it New Hope or which one is it? New Hope or
It's,
Empire?
No, it's
Episode 1. isn't
Is
it?
it episode?
No,
No,
I thought it was the
no, it's-
second one because it shows the Senate.
Oh, yeah.
Is it?
He's in the
No, I thought
Senate.
it was in the. I thought it was in the original ones, wasn't it? I may be completely wrong, but because it
He's
looked
in
really.
the Senate scene, though.
Yeah,
in-
is it
in
whatever?
the-
Yeah.
in the,
So it shows him
prequels.
in the prequel, I guess.
Yeah.
I thought it was the original one. Man, I may be wrong.
Yeah.
But it showed him in the second one
Yeah.
or whatever.
As like
And- yeah, and ET's whole little group is in the Senate,
Yeah,
and then
they're-
it shows,
they're
and then like
talking.
in ET. In the Halloween scene, he's walking
Yeah.
and he sees Yoda. Somebody dresses Yoda, and he starts
Yeah.
following him like he knows him. And it's like,
Yeah.
oh, it's because they all know each
Yeah.
other.
Right.
Yeah,
It's
so
very
it's
cool that-
kind of cool. Their
Yeah.
little connection, so that's
Mm-hmm.
kind of cool. But yeah, ET. I don't need to say a whole lot about ET, but no, good,
Yeah, it was great.
It's a
like
really good
non-animated kid movie that you can show the whole
And,
family.
I mean, everybody's very believable. Everybody is very...
Yeah,
Yeah.
and like I said, it's just amazing how it wasn't supposed to be scary, but like when you're a kid,
It
it's
was.
pretty
I was
terrifying.
afraid that E.T. was going to show up next to my bed. And I used to sleep facing the wall in the corner with, I'd put a pillow sideways where it was kind of leaning on the wall and then going over my head so I could still breathe, but it was protecting me like what a pillow.
The pillow will save you.
Yeah, because I pulled the covers up, but my mom wouldn't let me cover my face with it because she's like, you're going to end up suffocating yourself. So I just put a pillow like leaning on the wall going across over my head so that I could
Yeah.
see out the bottom of it, but on the side I couldn't see and nothing could get me because I was afraid that E.T. was coming.
Yeah, home,
That's like
home,
Yeah.
home.
The same logic when you're little that you'll like run and jump over the space in your bed.
Oh, yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
whatever could be lurking under there will not get me if I jump.
Yeah, if I jump and I land on my bed,
I still
won't
do
get
that.
I understand. That's why our mattress is on the floor. If it were above, I'd be nervous.
you're going no, because there's something. Yeah, because if there's something underneath your bed. But that's
Yeah.
because we're all horror people in this room.
Yeah.
So we always, that's a whole different story. But the one that gets me is the one in Urban Legend that people can lick to.
That's creepy.
Yeah. It's upsetting.
That's upsetting to me.
I've
You will
heard
never,
of that.
you will
I
never
haven't
feel
seen
this.
it.
You will never feel the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'll want to get a bed that isn't off the ground. So
Yeah.
it's pretty bad.
I don't know. I was just.
That's just
PG
terrifying.
term,
Yeah.
so-
Oh man. All right, Caitlin, you're up. Which one is your
Okay.
live action? Let's do it.
Mine is also 1982.
Yeah,
For
yeah.
some reason.
Look at
And
Yeah,
I'm going
yeah.
to repeat so there's no confusion. 1982.
Not
Annie.
2014, yeah.
Which one is it?
Yeah,
Jamie
not
Foxx is- I love Jamie
2014.
Foxx.
The other one,
I hated that movie.
this is the Carol Burnett Annie. I think the other one, it was Kathy Bates, right?
Yeah, Kathy
The
Bates
next
was
one,
the.
that was in
That
the
was
90s.
after that one. That was in the 90s.
It was only a few years later, but I'm not that big of a fan of that one. Only one that matters to me is
Yeah.
the one with Carol Burnett.
They did it right the first time.
Yes,
did.
they
They
did. They
had
did
it.
not need to change it ever. It was a really good movie. Everybody knows the story. It's about this orphan girl who is kind of in a cruddy orphanage with the lady who runs it is just awful. She's a drunk and she's awful to all of them and making them scrub everything all the time. And Annie just wants to find her parents. She's always singing and dreaming of her parents and wanting to go away. And then she sneaks. she
Shame on you.
All right, I'm sorry.
Gosh, she sneaks away in the laundry basket and everything, and then gets taken back. And Carol Burnett's character is even Mrs. Hannigan. She's even meaner to her after that, and she puts her in a closet that she has to stay in timeout.
Jesus, I know.
Yeah.
Now that one was pretty rough.
It
Yeah.
was.
That one was
It was.
pretty
And
And
then,
rough.
she's true to that character, though. She's bad.
oh, she.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she's,
You know?
yeah.
She's good at being bad.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
No, and then whenever Oliver Warbucks, he's the billionaire in the
Yeah.
area, he wants to. Well, he forgets he's supposed to, but his what would you call her? His secretary, I guess.
Yeah, secretary.
She was supposed to get a child for him to keep in his mansion for a week, just to look good, for his image. So she goes to get one, and she's sitting there in the office with Miss Hannigan trying to figure out which one she wants to get, and she's like, "Oh, I'll be right back." And then Annie pokes her head out of the closet and is trying to tell her she wants to get one with red hair, and she's telling her the age she wants, and she keeps putting her hand up to go higher. She's like, "No." She's like,
Yeah,
7,
10?
8, 9. It's like 10, and then she's like, "Stop!" And it's like, "Okay, a 10-year-old redhead." She's like, "We don't have any of those," and she's like, "Well, what about this one?" And Miss Hannigan doesn't want her to take her because she wants her to stay there and torture her. For no reason. She's just an awful lady.
Yeah,
But it's just such a good movie when she takes her and she gets to, be a part of his life and his mansion and everything, and see, appreciate all the things that she's never had. And then he decides, he doesn't want to send her back. He wants to adopt her. And it's just such a sweet movie. All the characters are really cool. All the
Yeah.
music's really fun. And it just still holds up to this
Yeah.
day. I love that. It has a really good story.
I will say the only character that doesn't hold up, Punjab. He doesn't belong
you
there.
hate Punjab.
I don't hate Punjab.
I
He just
like
doesn't.
Punjab.
His name.
It's just
kind of a dirty name, too.
Punjab.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah, I'm gonna get Punjab that girl. Giggity, 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 giggity.
God. He's just very.
But
Gosh.
I grew up on Annie, and I had the soundtrack. I had books with, you go to the book fair and I'd get books on Annie and Ghostbusters. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
No, and Annie is one of the most
Good.
popular musicals.
And you
Yeah.
got
Yeah.
to see it for
It's
the first
such a
time.
great
I did.
a
I got to
little
see it for the
while
first
ago.
time. And you will also be seeing the 2014.
I will not.
You will do it.
we should have a night of movies we dread and do not want to see the remakes, like my Poltergeist.
Yeah, Starler refuses.
I was
to
going to
see
suggest the Apes movie.
No, remakes
Annie.
that were close, like the originals close to your heart. Listen,
Yeah, no, yeah, no, we're listening.
Not
listen to what I'm
happening.
saying.
There is no way. On Annie, I'm not
No,
willing to
no,
budge
no,
on that one.
Okay, no, I really don't want to see Terminator Genesis. You really don't want to see the Poltergeist remake. You desperately don't want to see the Annie remake. So we just need to choose one for Michael, and we watch all.
Yeah,
of them.
and then we each have to review it
Oh my god.
and be honest. What was right? What was wrong? I mean, you pretty much know everything that's wrong, but you have to say.
shit.
I just sent through it.
Oh
Yeah,
my
Jesus.
God.
Well,
I know
I
everything
heard.
that's
They
wrong with
changed.
this
They
one.
like completely changed the story.
changed
I've
the
already
story.
vented about this in the
Yeah.
bad remakes.
And let's just say, okay, I don't
Refer
care.
to that, you guys.
And let's just point the elephant in the room. Annie is a different color. You know, but that's not the problem.
Had they done it correctly,
Yeah.
it wouldn't matter what
Yeah,
color she
I think
is.
with Anne, it has nothing to do because
But
you have those
yeah.
people that are like,
Yeah.
"Man, she's black now, whatever." And I don't. That's not as big a deal. I think the problem is it just didn't need to be done anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It didn't matter what. They could have been a white girl. It wouldn't need to be done.
Yeah.
And the problems I've heard with the movie is the acting's really bad. The voices don't match up. Like the songs don't match
Yeah.
up with the lips. And
That's pretty
bad.
they
bad.
changed the
That's
and
kind
they
of the
changed
whole
the story.
idea.
And a lot of people said that's
you
what
can
was the
tell from
problem.
the trailer that they changed the story.
Yeah.
It's like it doesn't matter that she's black. That has nothing to do with it. You can have a black orphan, fine, but the problem is that they completely changed the story.
They changed what Annie
and they
was.
put in this cheesy crap that doesn't need to be in there. Just
Yeah.
so like really cheesy
It's
jokes.
like
You
they're-
can tell
Jamie
just from
Foxx?
the trailers.
They-
Yeah, Jamie Foxx.
Oh.
Yeah.
Maybe if he
He's
weren't
the
in it, it
biggest
would be
cheesy
better.
joke
But
of
they
them
just
all.
made it
Yeah.
basically. I feel like they turned it into a joke. They made it
Yeah.
not into like a modern day Annie.
They
They
probably could've-
they ruined it.
Just changed the name of the lead girl and not call it Annie and just made it a completely different story.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
then
they
maybe
made
it was similar, but
Avoid all the comparisons.
Yeah, because
then
you go in there
if they
people
wanted to use the same
compare-
songs,
yeah.
though, they'd have an issue with that. But
They should
have done something else.
Because I feel like some of the older kids movies, they were, I don't know if it was that generation or something, but they would be rough on kids. They
Yeah.
would, here's as bad as
Yeah.
it can get, son.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You have to deal
Look
with
at
it.
look at like playgrounds. Like when we had playgrounds, they were metal.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, and the
and you
hot
would
sun.
go home
yourself.
with third-degree burns.
Jesus, dude, one of the worst memories I had in elementary school
Yeah, it was a
was
playground.
going down one of the slides
Yeah.
during the day because lunch
Where
would
you'd
get
like
lunch would
slide
be
on
at
your
noon.
back so that your legs
Yeah,
wouldn't
dude.
touch it.
Because
Yeah,
like
so
because
the
it was
shirt
so
wouldn't
hot,
like
it.
it'd be so hot you'd get stuck on the
Yeah.
slide while it's
Right.
like 1,000
And-
degrees on it.
And now
You're like,
they're all plastic.
yeah, another plastic
And indoors.
safe
Indoors,
and
yeah, they have the,
indoors.
little, the
Yeah.
fan at the top.
Yeah.
I miss when weather decided whether or not you got to play
Yeah,
on the playground.
because that was the day you only were on the swings
Yeah.
because you
Right.
could sit on that thing and just keep cool by
Yeah.
just sitting on the swing.
And I think that's how movies were. You know, they used to make movies where it was like, you know what, this might not be for everybody.
Mhm.
It might not be something every child can handle, but it's something that's relatively okay for kids to see.
Yeah, and here's my issue is I think, studios think kids are not as smart as they
Yeah,
used
they're
to be.
making them stupid.
Because they think,
kids know
kids will
more than
see
you realize.
whatever
Yeah.
kids will see whatever they think looks good,
yeah.
and so that's what their market is those kids going, I want to see that,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
They treat them stupid.
yeah, and like how they did the Return of Oz, that just
Yeah.
looked like a piece of shit, but the company just wanted to make some money, and
Yeah.
They don't have as many like good life lessons or
Yeah.
stories in them. Like you were talking about in Charlotte's Web, how you learn something from it.
Yeah.
When you
And
heard
that's-
talking about versatile. I want to say
Yeah.
it wrong. I want to say it different than you did, so I'm not gonna say it because it's like tomato.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say it.
versatile or versatile,
Yeah.
Yeah.
tomato,
That,
tomato.
yeah.
Either.
I'm like, I'm
works.
gonna say it wrong, so I
Well,
didn't
yeah,
want
no,
to.
whatever you say, we're not gonna be like, nerd. Like,
But it's okay if a kid learns something new.
yeah.
You want them to walk away with some sort of good lesson. You don't want to
Well,
be
'cause
like,
then
well,
it-
I knew everything
Yeah.
in that
Well,
movie.
because
when
then
I
They
it
was
gives
don't
you
put
hope
things
later.
in movies anymore. They
Yeah.
just put stupid things that are just jokes they think are gonna make the kids
Yeah.
laugh,
Yeah.
and it's really dumbed down jokes too.
Yeah. And that's
It's
sad
embarrassing.
too.
They're
because,
they're testing our patience with a lot of this stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
and it's sad for the parents. I feel bad for parents because if your
Yeah.
kids, if this is their options, they're going to want to see it.
And they're
Yeah.
coming
There
home
you are.
saying it and like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, this
Because
is
I'm the
it.
biggest. I'm one of the biggest kids as an adult because I love kid movies and I'll still go see them in the theater and stuff. But like just some of them now, it
Yeah.
irritates me. It makes me mad.
They regurgitate
Yeah.
the same story,
Yeah.
Yeah.
the same few actors, the same animation.
Yeah.
It's like, get creative.
And then it's like you'll see some things where the animation looks great,
Yeah.
like what they do for Big Hero 6 and stuff
Yeah.
like that. Like it looks great. And then you get to ones that just looks. I think it was the Oz one. We saw that and we were
Yeah.
like, "What are we looking at?"
Yeah.
Because it just
It's
looks like
That was
just
the one that was
horrible
recently
animation.
where it had a lot of big names in it. And
That was it.
Was that it? Was that
Yeah.
the Oz
Oh,
one?
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just. And I've never seen it. It could be good, but I mean, just based off of the look of it and just some of the
I
things they
know.
said in the trailer,
Yeah.
it just we all looked at each other like,
Is this real?
Yeah.
because it didn't look right.
It looked like
Yeah.
a
Oh, and the
student
nut
film.
job. The nut job. That
Yeah.
that one looks
Yeah.
like a piece of garbage. Just for the look of it.
Yeah.
It just looks like somebody in
There's
a
not
studio.
attention to detail.
Yeah.
Or,
Like they just
you
wanted
know.
to push something out.
Yeah.
And this has turned into a complete different rant. But
Yeah,
it just
but-
but you know
It goes towards all this, you know, the quality of
Yeah.
the work.
and that shows you
Yeah.
know, because Annie was rough and
Yeah.
it was goofy, but it was
Yeah.
fun and it was smart and it had a meaning behind it.
Yeah.
It wasn't like some turd that they pushed out for money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So studios need to
And-
learn.
And, you know, she went through real crap and nobody had a change of heart.
Yeah.
Nobody had a change of heart. You know, Carol Burnett was bad, and she was bad till
From
the
start
end.
to
I mean,
finish.
she was
Oh,
bad.
yeah.
Yeah.
And the only one that and then you got the guy who was bad but ended up loving her. So
Yeah.
you know.
That was the guy that was mean, that was meant to have a change of heart. Not
Yeah.
every friggin' person in the movie.
Yeah.
Just the one that mattered.
Yeah.
You know, Annie just needed one person to care about her and want to
And
keep
Cameron
her.
Diaz is a drunk in real life, and she played the least believable drunk in a
This
movie.
could be libelous.
Yeah.
Oh my bad.
Be careful.
Yeah, Cameron Diaz is a filthy drunk,
Alleged.
alleged drunk.
Chase assumes.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. When I've read in papers.
Yes.
You know. All right. Well, good choice. Annie obviously is a classic, so I mean we don't need to.
Yeah, oh yeah.
That just studios don't touch it again.
Yeah, leave it.
Leave it be.
It's already been played with enough. It's wrong.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Easy.
All right, Michael. You're,
Calm.
yeah. All right, Michael,
On
you're
that note, Michael.
Yeah.
Huh?
Time to play with it some more, Michael. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay.
All right.
And this
My-
is our kid podcast.
Oh, yeah. Oh, rude.
Well, my pick was Explorers from 1985,
I have not seen that one.
and
I
I
have
don't think
not
anybody
seen it
has.
either.
Oh, wow. That's
Well-
like, I don't think anybody has.
It is it is a feature film debut of Ethan Hawke and River Phoenix.
Oh, I do know that one.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it, but I do know what
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
talking about. Because
Yeah.
they look really young on the cover of it.
Yeah.
Ethan Hawke, he dreams about this circuit board. So he gets his friend, River Phoenix, who's this genius, and they build this circuit board and create this little sphere, and they figure out how to make it bigger to where like nothing can get into it. They can go through like the ground, and they're fine in it. And there's like it changes like physics inside it. They don't get hurt if they like crash into walls.
Real quick.
So go
Go
on.
ahead. No, go ahead.
Let him finish.
So-
Yeah, let him finish, then you can.
Yeah.
So they build like a little spaceship in it, and they go high enough, and the people who basically sent him the dream takes him into space. So it's just about these three friends. There's another kid in there too who helps Ethan Hawke with the bully. So it's just about these three friends who go out in space and meet aliens, and it was
Starla
cool.
is slightly judging you a little bit.
I
with those
know.
eyes.
It's,
I-
it's fine.
No, it's
fine.
It's like, it's
in a
fine.
sweet way because I feel like this type of movie and Michael, it just explains so much. Because all of his favorite movies, and it really does show the power of movies and how they shape your life. But he just gravitated towards movies about really smart kids, really intellectual kids. You know, they're into computers, they're into travel, they're into space. I mean, all these things shaped him into the person he is, and I love the person he is. But it's just so cute because I imagine little Michael
Yeah,
with
that's
his hair
yeah.
combed and parted to the side, you know, in a little sweater vest, maybe a clip-on tie,
Clip on time. Yeah,
with
what the hell is
with
he
his
doing?
arms
I
crossed,
folded my own
thinking
ties.
about a better future for us all. You know, at a
Like
time,
10.
yeah, at
Yeah.
a time when my biggest goal was Lisa Frank stickers. He
Yeah,
was thinking,
Starla's collecting stickers, playing with My Little Pony, watching Care Bears.
yeah.
And Michael
And
was
Michael
watching.
is dreaming of a better future for the world.
The computer that they used in the movie cost $35,000, and
Damn.
it had like 1.5 meg of RAM, which
Really?
is like now
Like
it's
no-
like
yeah,
a
like
gig.
nothing.
Yeah, and it was like 130 pounds.
Oh my god! Holy shit! Which now the
Giant
computer like would cost
they're like
like
4
$100.
4 pounds. Yeah.
Jeez.
So
I
you,
just
you get
think
a
it's
tablet
great.
with more power.
Yeah, that's so funny.
Yeah, and what they used for power in the movie was a 9-volt battery.
Really?
Yeah, that's
Oh,
all
wow.
they used.
I want to say
That was cool.
because I saw the cover of that
Oh,
one.
yeah,
I was like,
and-
that little kid looks like Ethan Hawke.
Yeah,
it is Ethan Hawke because he's a little
but
kid.
the same guy made Gremlins, and there's a scene where a helicopter pilot's kind of chasing him around, and there's I think there's a headline, like a paper he's reading, talking about Kingston Falls, how they can't figure out how this riot happened, and Kingston Falls was the name of the city. In
Oh
Gremlins.
wow, okay, that's awesome.
So they kind of tie it
It's
together.
kind of like in Gremlins when they mention that, or no, in Goonies, when they mention, Chunk saying there's these little green creatures
Yeah, little green
that
creatures.
multiply when water's put on them.
Yeah.
Really?
They all,
Oh, I don't remember
They always
that.
reference that, yeah.
Oh wow,
So I thought that was cool.
I didn't know that. That's pretty.
Yeah.
That's pretty intense.
We'll have to watch it. I'll have to show y'all. School y'all.
Yes.
Because Starla will be thinking
But-
she's watching like a science documentary.
It's
Yeah.
just amazing how do we ever connect to meet.
Because Michael has like this scientific brain, and you're
I
just
should be
like,
making birdhouses in the yard or something, and he's like,
We do have one, though.
yeah, we do. He's brilliant, and he likes movies that lend themselves to that type of mind.
That's why
I
he
think
gets
that-
angry when it shows ones that are just like
Yeah.
Annie remake.
I think
It's
at
like,
some
this does nothing for our future.
I think at some point, Mom tried at first showing me stuff that had some sort of educational background, and then at some point she's like, "You want to see Alien or Aliens or?"
Yeah, I know, and that twisted you a little bit.
Yeah, and then I'm like bored with Alien until the face sucker gets stuck to somebody. I'm like, no, I want no part of all this.
All the
How
build-up.
let's land the ship. Let's
Yeah.
just get to
Let's
it.
just get to. Well, like you said, it's a good example of when you're younger, what influences how
Yeah.
you are as an adult. Because Mom showing you Alien
Yeah,
did that for you. You watching that one did that for you, and then just like y'all showing me everything did that
Yeah.
for me. Because that's why I have such a wide range of movie watching. Because
yeah.
it's just
I think that's awesome.
yeah. We're working on Caitlin. We're showing,
People are blank slate until they get to see these things, and then you decide what you're into, what you're not.
yeah,
you know?
exactly. You get your own, perspective and your own choices.
Yep.
Look at her. Except Caitlin has to watch whatever I want to watch. So
Yeah. Caitlin gets your own choice.
yeah, she gets my
not
choice.
hers.
Yeah. Gosh. All right, Starla, you're up. Beat that.
Well, I can.
Yours will be a smart.
No, it won't be as smart, but it definitely explains a lot of how I turned out. Mine is 1985's Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
Yay, yay!
Same as Explorers.
Yup,
Yes,
there
and
you go.
this tells you exactly what was going on
Yeah,
in
so
the
the
lives
two
of
different
these-
minds of the same year.
He's
yeah.
thinking about, concepts of computers and technology and where will it take us, and I'm thinking, oh, this is awesome. This is an option for me as an adult. I can really be a child my entire life and have, my most prized possession be my bicycle when I'm in my 30s. And that's, let me tell you, what's awesome about Pee-wee's Big Adventure is really, it's hilarious to see that clearly Francis and Pee-wee, they're each
They're
other's
grown-
nemesis.
yeah.
Man.
And we're talking about men in their 30s who
Yeah.
have enough money to live however the hell they want to live.
And they are.
And
they are, yeah.
fight like little boys over this bicycle.
Yeah.
And then Francis can't commit to even paying someone to steal the bike. He didn't want to keep it. Now it's getting difficult. Just get rid of it. And so then the whole thing is Pee-wee trying to get his bike back. That is the story.
Just a movie about a
Yeah.
grown man.
Man.
A man
Trying
that's
to find his-
clearly
yeah.
35 or older who lives in a house that looks like a wonderland. I mean, if you're 10, that is like, this is awesome.
Yeah.
This is what I want. This is what I want. And he will go to the mat over his bicycle. He risks his friendship, his home. He leaves his dog. He's got to find his
Yeah,
bike.
he's gotta find his bike.
He doesn't care about any of his responsibilities, whatever they may be. And
No, like what is he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What
and
is he doing?
travels to the Alamo to find his bike because
In
a
the
fortune
basement.
teller told him that's where it is. So not only does he live like a child, but he kind of has the naivety of a child.
Yeah.
That he can be told.
Alamo.
Yeah, his bicycle's in the Alamo. But I mean, this is Tim Burton's directorial debut after Disney fired him,
Hey, hey.
and he recruited Danny Elfman to do the music. So this is monumental in that it created that marriage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Paul Rubens is just great. he's great at being kind of a man-child, but not coming off as creepy.
Yeah.
Which I
Yeah.
don't know how he manages because he's got
Until
like
he
white.
decides to go see a movie.
Okay. Because he's got
Gets
like
so
a
excited,
white powdered
yeah.
face and red lipstick on. I don't know how he doesn't come off
It's
creepy.
creepy.
But he just
Yeah, that's just, I mean, it's brilliant.
Yeah.
and the lines, it's so quotable. We still quote it.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
I'm older than no. I think Paul Rubens was like 38 when he did this movie, so I'm just approaching
You're almost there.
that age. I
Yeah.
still have time.
You're getting there.
But it really did shape my life. It taught me that, you know, when you're an adult, you're an extension of yourself as a child. It's not that the child dies and you've got to become this new you. And for a long time I assumed that. I thought, you know,
Well, lots of people do. People
Yeah.
get very boring
yeah.
because
Yeah.
they're like, oh, I was a kid and now,
Yeah, I
now
can't
I
play
have
video
to
games
do.
anymore.
Yeah, I now have
Yeah.
to be like this.
Yeah.
Well, you know, and when you're younger, when you're about 13, 14, you kind of assume, well, I'm going to go through this transformation where I'm just going to be the new and improved adult me.
Yeah, I will say though,
It's like-
I really feel like my age group, like early '90s and then mid '90s, like we're changing it a little bit.
Yeah.
Because we are all still like people my age and her age and still love SpongeBob and all that stuff, and they don't
Yeah.
care, and that's why Comic Cons are getting so much more popular.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
You'll see
nerd
fun-
is coming
the
out of the
nerds coming
closet.
back, and all the hidden nerds are coming out. They're
Yeah.
not scared to do what they like anymore,
Yeah.
and it's cool because like, why should you just be this serious
Yeah.
adult? You know what I'm
I
saying?
think I always thought that when I was younger too, that so like I was always very embarrassed about anything that I liked. and
Yeah.
didn't want to talk about it to people. Like, you know, just like shows on or cartoons or anything. You know.
Yeah,
that-
you feel
that-
like, okay,
you
I'm-
feel
I
corny.
should
You
watch
feel like
that.
a nerd. Yeah, you're like, oh, I can't let people. Don't tell people I watch that. Like,
Yeah.
but now
And then
it's
she
like.
met me.
No,
No, and I'm not trying. I'm not trying to be.
exactly.
I'm not trying. Well, I'm not trying to be like. And she met me, and I changed her. I just mean like my entire life, I've not given a damn about what people think about me, what people
Yeah.
think about what I watch, what people think about what I
Yeah.
care about. I have like the same kind of nerdy thing. I've liked Dragon Ball Z since I was a kid. Pokemon, I still talk
Yeah.
about.
Yeah.
I collect movies, Funko Pops. Like I don't care.
I had that same problem. It's like when I was in school, I knew how I needed to behave to be popular or to be, you know,
Yeah.
Yeah.
whatever the type of kid was that
yeah,
I wanted to be.
just
But
to
I just
survive.
didn't want to.
Yeah.
I would rather have taken the little bit of crap I'd get from other kids and just be myself than to change that.
Yeah.
And I think Pee-wee's kind of an example of that. If you have the financial means, and I'm not talking about being immature to the point you're like 58 and in your parents' basement. I'm talking, you know, if you have the financial means to live like you want to live and you're not hurting anybody,
Do it.
what does it matter?
What does it matter? Yeah, it doesn't
That's
matter.
probably the best
Yeah.
message of all these movies. Is just
Yeah.
be yourself.
Be yourself. It doesn't matter. You
Yeah,
know?
like we go to work, we pay for the mortgage. If we want to have walls covered in Baymax and horror films, then that's just how it is.
Yeah.
yeah.
You
And
know,
I think
and that's
what-
our business.
I think what helped too was growing up. I was surrounded by people that were the same way. You
Yeah.
know, because like I'm not saying I hung out with nerds. I just hung out. You know what I mean? Like because
Watch yourself now.
hey now. But I mean
We
like.
like explorers and
Yeah,
Pee-wee's
well,
Big Adventure.
No, but I was around you two guys who y'all were very supportive in anything I wanted to do. And then I had like Matthew, who was pretty much like me and liked all the same crap. And then we had our extension of friends, and so it was like, and it wasn't just like four of us in the corner playing, you know,
Yeah. Dungeons
trading
and
Pokemon
Dragons.
cards.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, but like everyone I was friends with and knew was into that, and I think
Yeah.
that just shows you like how my age group at that time
Yeah.
was the same, and it helped kind of just be like, okay,
And
I
that
could be
is
myself.
very different than our age group.
Yeah,
It
because
was.
there's always the shitty people,
Yeah.
the jerks, or they feel like the I play sports and this is me.
Right.
Like no, and there were those people, but there was more of us. There was
Mhm.
more of us, and it was just more fun
Yeah.
growing up. Because I had we all have life issues, but like just the fact that I could just be whatever I wanted to be and like whatever I wanted to like, and I never
Yeah.
ever felt like I needed to change it. I never once was like, okay, I'm gonna stop liking this
So this
and
person-
start liking this. Yeah, because I didn't care.
And it's
Yeah.
refreshing that the number of people, that are like that is increasing. Because in
It was a
when we
very
were in
small
junior high
number.
and high school, if you talked about liking Tiny Toons, which I loved at the time,
Tiny
and
Toons.
Animaniacs, and you liked movies tons, you were a freak. You were like, why are you obsessing about that movie? Or you
Yeah.
couldn't talk about those things. And now with Marvel and everything else, I mean, nerds and movie geeks
Marvel
are coming out of the woodwork. And
Marvel,
it's very
Walking
cool.
Dead, because now that they started
Yeah.
a whole convention based off
Yeah.
of Walking Dead.
Yeah.
And the the Fright Fest stuff that
Yeah,
or whatever
Frightmare.
Frightmare. Yeah, that's we just did that
Yeah.
yesterday and today
it's,
and
you're surrounded by people who
Yeah.
are in costume, who bring their kids to it.
yeah.
It's a family
It's a
tradition for us
yeah.
here. And
We've been doing it since I was a little kid.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then same with like wrestling. You know, I have friends who watch it. Like that's where I first got into it. You know, I have
Yeah.
people that watch it and they stopped because they're like, oh, I'm getting older, whatever. Because
Yeah.
I don't want to watch it.
Yeah.
But I've watched it this entire time,
If you
and it's
enjoy
like
it,
then I
yeah.
go to the when I go to the events, I'm surrounded by thousands of people
Yeah.
who are into the same thing.
Yeah.
Well, then yeah, clearly I'm not the only person, and it's
Yeah.
okay. I don't care.
It's like recently we saw Spice World at Alamo.
Yeah.
And the theater was packed.
Yeah.
And it was so refreshing because it's like all the time I get laughed at for like
Yeah.
the Spice Girls, and it's like, well, they sold 10 million albums. I didn't buy them all. I mean,
Yeah.
people
People
love them.
love 'em.
Yeah.
And it's because it's campy and it's nerdy and it's not meant to be taken seriously.
Yeah, it's not meant, and
Yeah.
and like you said, I pay my bills.
Yeah.
I show up for work,
Yeah.
but when I'm just trying to have fun and just enjoy
Yeah.
enjoy myself, you know, that's what I do.
Do the things you
Do
love.
the things you love. That's a good.
Yeah.
You hear that,
Yeah.
people? Do the things you love.
Be yourself.
And I was supposed to say, because this whole YouTube channel, you know, I'm a very small YouTube channel, but there's people out there with million subscribers, with 100,000 subscribers who do
Yeah.
what I do, and this is what they do as their job, and
Yeah.
you know what I mean. And they just talk
And
about
people
movies, and,
love
and
it.
people love it, and they
Yeah.
subscribe to it, and
That's
so
awesome.
clearly I'm not the only people out there.
That's technology being used for good. That's when I'm satisfied and happy that the web has come along. Because you're able to kind of get your message out to more people
Yeah.
and find more like-minded people. Whereas
Yeah.
before it was anyone in my neighborhood into this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. All right. In my room.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
And now you've got friends all over the world. You know, it's nice
Yeah.
that you can talk to people from different places, and it's like, wow, we're separated
Yeah,
by so
I got
much, but not.
I have an Australian fan base I talk to, and
Yeah.
they're very nice. You know, I
Yeah,
have people
that's
all
cool.
over the place that I talk to, so it's fun.
very cool.
It's nice, you
Yeah.
know. So good little thing. This is
Yeah.
our little thing, you know, for your thoughts.
You see, Timmy?
Yeah, you see what you did was you got to be
Good enough
yourself.
and smart enough.
Yeah, you got.
That is, you were right. It is the thread between all these movies, you know.
Yeah.
These
So
are
Pee Wee's
characters
is almost brilliant.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
it's like-
there's no almost about it. Pee Wee is brilliant.
Yeah.
Like
It's
Pee Wee
genius.
is brilliant.
and on his movie viewing, what he does in his private life is not my concern.
And on his hey, you know what? He tried to be darker in Buffy, and then
And-
then he started touching himself in pornographic theaters. So
That was before Buffy.
was it before Buffy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh well, that's why he went dark. He's like, you know what? Screw it. Can't be Pee Wee anymore.
And what's sad is, you know, people held that against him so much for doing something every male especially is definitely doing. Maybe not in theaters, but I mean, it wasn't like he was at a children's movie.
True. He wasn't
Yeah.
like
He
in
did do
Dumbo
that.
touching himself.
That thing was it the MTV Awards where he walked out as Pee Wee and what I heard any good jokes lately? Is that what he
Yeah,
said?
he did that right after
Yeah.
he was arrested.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was
He got a
fun.
big
I mean,
laugh.
he
Really?
poked fun
Yeah.
at it.
Yeah.
He knew it was wrong to do. He wasn't
Yeah.
dressed as Pee Wee,
Oh, that'd be awful.
No, it was just
but
straight
it
clothes
just
or whatever.
it was unfortunate because people
stupid.
do sometimes
Make stupid
mistake
decisions.
a character for the person, and when someone makes a mistake, they just hold it to them. And there's stars out there now that have made some awful,
Shit.
law
Yeah, no,
breaking,
I don't.
horrible mistakes.
No, I know. There's so many people out there that have done
Yeah.
worse
Running over
things.
people.
Yeah.
You know?
Jesus.
And you know, Pee Wee played with himself. That's not bad. That's not the worst thing you could do to
Pee Wee
someone.
played with his
I mean,
Pee Wee.
That's off.
Yeah.
You know, his crime was to himself. That's fine. Go wild.
Right.
You know,
Pee Wee's
there's
porn
people
house.
harming others. You know,
I
so-
know it's tough. It's
That-
just it's an
that's my
easy
feeling on
easy
that.
joke.
That poor
but-
talking chair.
And,
Yeah.
Aw.
What was he? Yeah. Jerry, no.
And that's coming from somebody who was I was a fan club member. I still have my letters. So
Aw.
I
Bless
love
your
Pee Wee
nerdy
Herman.
little heart.
I know. I love Pee Wee Herman, and I still do because I think
No, he's goofy.
funny.
He's funny.
it's like, you know,
And it's
hey,
been so long after
Yeah.
that. I mean, who cares? But awesome. So this was a good one. We got to talking. We got to being ourselves. Caitlin, you all good?
Like all things with our podcast, it starts in one place and it kind of evolves.
Evolves.
We're the Pokemon of podcasts.
Yeah, we're on stage 3 right now. Or like in Dragon Ball Z terms, I'm in my final form. But yeah,
Which is quite magnificent.
It's over 9,000! Yeah, that was for Aiden. Yeah, Aiden, if you're listening to this podcast. But no, so that was good.
If you hung in that long.
Yeah, if you hung in that long, was
Yeah.
just like 3 hours. 3 hours later, we're like, so about that Pee-wee.
It's only been an hour.
Yeah. But no, cool. Any final thoughts before we head out?
Be yourself.
Be yourself, kids.
Yes.
Yeah. We leave this with the final thought. You know? No, but thank you guys. Yeah. Jeez. Thank you guys for listening, and we will see you in the next podcast next week. We'll go ahead and start posting stuff on what the topic will be soon.
Yeah.
And so thank you guys, and we will see you in the next podcast. Bye.
Bye.